Well, hey folks, Fat Guy Flies RC out here at Dave on Park Arrow Mollis Club. Going to take up the MiG-29, just kind of do the second flight I've ever done. No, I'm not telling the truth. That's right, I did fly it a second time, but I didn't put it on camera. Do a speed run, and the speed checker failed on me, and so I had to cut the footage early, so I didn't use that. So technically, this is the third time this is in the air. So, just realize that. But that's okay.
Motor is hot and will burn you. Be careful, you silly boy.
Motor is hot, will burn you. Be careful, you silly boy. Right, left, up, down, right, left. All right.
Trimming mode. AS3X mode.
All right. Wind is out of the northwest, and this is a east to west field. I'm going down here to the east end. So I have a little bit of a cross breeze I got to deal with. I'm landing from the east here, and I don't like that, but it is what it is. I'd much rather land from the west, but timer set for 3 minutes.
Timer reset.
And I'm flying in my high rates. Alrighty.
Takeoff flaps.
Here, about a 4,000 Secocans 6S.
Up.
Take it up.
Time remaining 2 minutes. The gear is coming down. Landing flaps.
It's too steep.
Flaps up.
Too steep of an approach.
Landing flaps.
Alrighty. Got enough for one more up and down. Let me just stay behind you. Well, I can't stay too far behind you because then the audio won't pick up. Alright.
Flaps up.
Alright, here we go.
Takeoff flaps. Flaps up. Retract tucked away. Time remaining 1 minute. The gear is coming down. Landing flaps.
And see that right there, the way that hit the edge there, the way that nose would have dipped down, had I had that pitot tube on there, very good chance it would have ripped the nose right off. That's why I don't fly with a pitot tube. Alrighty.
Flaps up.
We had 26 seconds left on a 3-minute timer. I found that this, while this is a great flying jet, looks great, it got a great presence in the air,
Motor is so very chill.
It does go
It's
through
safe to pick up.
it does go through the batteries. Battery is kind of warm, not too terribly bad. Okay, 34% left, so 3 minutes is perfect. This is going to be the first flight. We're going to come back here in just a little bit and do this and try to do the speed test. Try to do the speed test for real this time, and I'll go over the rates for both flights. But we have 34% left. Same kind of battery, just a fresh battery. We'll be right back. We're going to do a speed run to kind of two-part. That was the fun trial. Now we're going to do the speed trial, and it's guilty of being fun. So, all right, we'll be right back. Well, hey folks, Fat Guy Flies RC. All right, this is going to be the bonus flight, speed run. We just did the fun trial, now we're going to do the speed trial. Let's see if it's guilty of speed. All right. Have the MiG-29 from Ailerons. Make sure I'm tracking. I'm tracking. You keep going there. All right. First run will be the performance run, into the wind, full speed, straight and level. And the second one will just be a hard dive, just to see how fast I can make it go. All right, you're turned away from me. We gotta try to stay level with each other. All right, takeoff flaps. Here we go. I'll get down here. All right, I'm going to turn into the wind now. Full speed. All right, that should give me my performance run.
Landing flaps.
All right, your turn around here. This is where reverse thrust would have been awesome. All right, check our speed. That was our straight and level. Okay, stop, read. All right, 84 mile an hour. And we got up to, something on my face, 84 mile an hour, we got up to 167 feet. So we're gonna start over, start. Okay, make sure I'm reading. And I am. Now this time we're gonna go over to the west, opposite side, and get her into a hard dive.
Takeoff flap.
And then after that, we'll share all of our settings and everything. All right. Takeoff flaps, high rates, 2 minutes left on the time.
Time remaining 2 minutes.
I just said that.
Retract tucked away.
All right. That should definitely give me my speed run. Now I gotta get turned around to land.
The gear is coming down. Landing flaps.
Yeah.
1 minute.
You see how far that, even with that front gear being stiffened up, how far that nose dips? If I had that pitot tube, I'd grab that grass and rip that nose right off of there. All right.
Motor is so very chill. It is safe to pick up.
Oh. Stop. Read. All right. 98 mile an hour, 266 feet, and 98 mile an hour. That's just, I'm sure if I was to put a SMC high voltage pack in here, and maybe like a 3800, or if they make something like that, or maybe a little bit lighter of a pack, which they're lighter anyways, I might be able to breach that 100 mile an hour. So 98 mile an hour, I'm happy with that. All right, so we're going to turn the app off, because if you don't turn the app off, it'll turn then you turn the app off, it'll turn the device off. In about 30 seconds, that device, the GNS performance analyzer, will shut off. Otherwise, if you don't turn it off, the app off, it continues to search for satellite and drains the battery very quickly. And this is was successfully worked today. It's the GNS, I don't know if you can focus in on that little thing, GNS performance analyzer. It's Sky RC, the one who makes it. I got it at Motion RC, and I'll put a link. See, it just shut off just now. I'll put a link to the description in the description of the video for it. Let's check the battery. If I have close to 50%, we'll go up again. If not, we'll go over our rates and everything. So let's check it out here. 49%. I'm going to push it. 49%. That's good enough. One more up and down. Okay, but we'll leave the gear down. All right.
Flaps up. Motor is hot and will burn you. Be careful, you silly boy.
Motor is hot and will burn you. Be careful, you silly boy. Yeah, 3 minutes is all you want to do with this plane. That Twin 64, if they were in runners instead of out runners, it might be a little more efficient.
Take off flaps.
But it is what it is. This isn't a brand new plane. It's been out for a while.
Flaps up.
Beautiful day to fly.
30 seconds. Landing flaps. Seconds.
I'll be in the grass, but that's okay. All right, y'all can appreciate now why I don't fly with a nose cone or the nose pitot tube hanging out the end.
Motor is so very chill.
Yeah, that
safe to pick up.
That pitot tube hangs out that far, and it's just like a sword, just begging to yank the nose off. All right, let's go up here to the bench over here, and we'll go over our rates. All right, we're back. We made it to the bench. We walked the 35 feet over here to the bench. All right, let's check the CG real quick. I'll tell you where the CG is. CG is 110, 95 to 110 from the leading edge root, which is where the fuse touches, the wing touches the fuse. There's a little metal bolt there. Put your finger right behind that metal bolt, about an inch back, and that's where she CG's at, between 95 and 110. I got 2 glue marks, and I'm got my fingers like between the 2 glue marks, and she seems to be pretty level right there, not wanting to really favor one way or the other. I like checking CG with the gear down as if she's going to land, because that's when your CG is the most important, because you're landing. That's your biggest crash time. All right, go over the flying rates. Timer was set for 3 minutes, and I flew in high rates the entire time. The flying rates that I flew in Ailerons, 100% with 40% expo. Both these flights haven't changed. Elevator, 100% with 40% expo. And rudder, you guessed it, 100% but with 50% expo. Just helps with steering. I don't have a nose wheel gyro on there. The flap systems that I use, flaps up, negative, negative. Okay, no mix. There is a mix though. Takeoff flaps are positive 50% with a 5% up elevator, not down. And then landing is 100% with a 10% up elevator, not down. Lots of times they have down elevator, but these have up elevator. 2-second deployment on that. All right, my AS3X Plus settings, I have to look down because I can't see it. All right, because the sun's in my eyes. Okay, gains are at one-time gains. Roll, pitch, and yaw. 46, 48, and 54. That just seems to work out really well. Priority on roll, pitch, and yaw, 100, 100, and 100. Release rate or stop lock, all at 50 on roll, pitch, and yaw. I didn't do anything with the release rate. And nose wheel gyro I do not have engaged, one-time gains. Because if you want to use the nose wheel gyro with Spectrum, you actually have to have a physical open port on the receiver, and then that servo that drives that nose gear or nose servo, steering servo, has to have a direct line to the receiver. You can't wire it in with anything else. It's got to stand by itself. All right, check our battery. Then I'm going to show you battery placement real quick. We'll put the hatch back on. All right, 34%. So yeah, three minutes is all you're going to want on this to be safe. I mean, let's face it, you start bringing these batteries back, you get them too hot, and you start bringing them back at 5% and 10%, you cook them batteries. And if you're in this hobby long enough, you'll discover that the batteries are your biggest expense as far as electric goes. Well, folks, there you go. That was the fun run or fun trial, speed trial of the MiG-29 from Ailerons Hobby Zone. Thank you for sending this plane out to me for a review. I will tell you this, the plane is 100% habitually guilty. The jury finds it guilty of fun. However, we have a hung jury on the speed because we believe that he's more guilty than just 98 miles per hour. We think he's worse than that. So the states are going to withdraw for now and give him no contest for right now. So, all right, a little bit of a Law and Order analogy there. All right, well, folks, thank you so much for watching. God bless y'all. Gabriel, thank you for filming for him, my wonderful son. And I know y'all watched my video the other day. I forget what plane it was, but I was fussing with Camera Precious, and my commenter was like, how, I can't believe you're giving her a hard time. I'm like, I profusely apologized off camera about that. So I try not to, bite the hand that feeds you, so to speak. You know where your bread's buttered. You gotta be nice to your people that are helping you out. Especially their loved ones. All right, I don't know why I went off that tangent, but hey, y'all have a good one. We'll see y'all later.